Yeah, this next clip is an even better example of how ridiculous the moderator is and the message they're pushing to try and get, like, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha, bitch. It's like the Dave Chappelle, gotcha, bitch type moments. It's honestly, it's so blatant.
Yeah.
It's so in your face.
I know.
I get if you're a leftist, whatever, I get you don't like you hate Trump. I get it. And hey, I'm there with you. Sometimes I really don't like stuff he says and does and all that stuff. I'm on board. I don't really want him to be president again either. To be fair, I really don't.
No.
I'd love for somebody else. I'd love to have two mostly alive, competent people running for the presidency. That I feel like if this person was in office, at least he looks like he's up to the job.
I would much prefer an election of Ron DeSantis against RFK Jr. rather than a fucking Biden Trump.
That would be
rematch.
very interesting.
It would be, but it's not going to happen.
At least not this time around. We got at least.
We've still got the
round.
Zimmer frames.
We got another round of the geriatrics going after it.
Yeah.
One more round of the geriatrics, and then we might actually get somewhere decent. But yeah, it's just so blatant the manipulation that they're trying to perpetrate on us, the viewing public. So let's have a look at that.
The current administration has made it clear that we should continue to provide military equipment to Ukraine so that they can defend themselves. Do you support this decision, and how would you deal with the increasing threat posed by Vladimir Putin?
First of all, thank you very much. It's really nice. And it's an important question, so important, because we're giving away so much equipment. We don't have ammunition for ourselves right now. We're giving away so much. But here's the thing. I have to say it to start off, no longer matters. If I were president, this would have never happened. And even the Democrats admit that. Putin knew it would have never happened. And his pipeline would have never happened. A lot of things would have never happened. But this would never have happened. And all those dead people, both Russian and Ukrainian, they wouldn't be dead today. And all those cities that are blown up and disintegrated right to the ground, that wouldn't have happened. Okay, now, here's the problem. We've given so far $171 billion. They've given, meaning European Union, which is approximately the same size altogether as our economy. They've given about 20. So we're at 170, let's say, and they're at 20. You don't have to know too much about history to realize, or geography, to realize that they're a little bit more affected than we are, okay? So they've got to put up a lot more money because they're taking advantage of us like every other country did. That's why I ended NAFTA and replaced it with the USMCA, Mexico,
But on
Canada.
this issue, Mr. President, I should know, I don't know any Democrats who have said they don't believe Putin would have been invaded if you were president. But her question is, would you continue to give Ukraine money and weapons if you're elected? What's the answer?
I have a very good relationship with President Zelensky because, as you know, he backed me up with the phony impeachment hoax number one when he said the president didn't do anything wrong. So I happen to like. So I happen to like. Yeah, that's right. And I was totally exonerated, by the way. Just a waste of time and money.
You were impeached over that. But let's stay on topic here, Mr. President, because the question is, would you give Ukraine weapons and funding?
I was impeached by a crazy woman named Nancy Pelosi.
But the question here is, would you give Ukraine weapons and funding if you were elected?
I would sit down. Let me just put it a nicer way. If I'm president, I will have that war settled in one day, 24 hours.
How would you settle that war in one day?
Because I'll meet with Putin, I'll meet with Zelensky. They both have weaknesses and they both have strengths. And within 24 hours, that war will be settled. It'll be over. It'll be absolutely over.
Do you want Ukraine to win this war?
I don't think in terms of winning and losing. I think in terms of getting it settled so we stop killing all these people and breaking down this country.
Mr. President, can I just follow up on that because that's a really important statement
let me
that
just
you just
follow
made
up.
there. Can you say if you want Ukraine or Russia to win this war?
I want everybody to stop dying. They're dying, Russians and Ukrainians. I want them to stop dying. And I'll have that done. I'll have that done in 24 hours. I'll have it done. You need the power of the presidency to do it.
But you won't say that you want Ukraine to win. You
know what I'll say? I'll say this. I want Europe to put up more money because they're in for 20 billion. We're in for 170, and they should be. And they should equalize. They have plenty of money. They should equalize. I got with NATO,
But I'm
when I
asking
sat
you
down,
about
I got
Ukraine
them
right
to
now,
put up
Mr.
hundreds
President.
of billions of dollars that they weren't paying under Obama and Bush and all of these other presidents. That's why they're able to help them fight the war, because of the money I got. But I
let's
want
talk about
Europe
what's happening in Ukraine,
excuse
Mr.
me, I want
President.
Europe to put up more money, because they're laughing at us. They think we're a bunch of jerks. We're spending $170 billion for faraway land, and they're right next door to that land, and they're in for 20.
You were in office, you said that you respected President Putin. Do
Yeah,
you
I do.
still respect him today?
He made a tremendous mistake. He was a smart guy, you know. I remember I said he was smart, she was smart.
What was his
he
mistake?
said President Xi of China, right, is smart. Okay, 1.5 billion people. He's the ruler of 1.5 billion people. I said, yeah, he's a smart guy. How dare he say he's smart? Of course he's smart. They want you to say he's a stupid person. Okay, he's not a stupid person. He's very smart. He's very cunning. And Putin made a bad mistake, in my opinion.
What was his mistake?
His mistake was going in. He would have never gone in if I was president. We used to talk about it there.
Do you believe that Putin is a war criminal? He's responsible for the deaths of thousands
Well,
of Ukrainian men and
I think
women
it's
and
something that
children.
should not be discussed now. It should be discussed later, because right now we have to get a war. If you say he's a war criminal, it's going to be a lot tougher to make a deal to get this thing stopped. Because if he's going to be a war criminal where people are going to go and grab him and execute him, he's going to fight a lot harder than he's fighting, you know, under the other circumstance. That's something to be discussed at a later date.
But isn't it
right now,
important
we
to
want
call
to
it
get
what
that
it
war
is?
settled. And I'm not talking about the money either. I'm talking about all the lives that are being, the number of people being killed in that war is far greater than you're hearing. When they blow up a city and those buildings come pouring down and then they say 2 people were injured, no, hundreds and thousands of people are being killed, and we have to get that war settled.
That is why his foreign policy was so effective.
Yeah. Look, this is a pretty simple thing to understand. There's a couple things that I gathered from watching this that I wanted to talk about. One, the reason why Putin didn't do anything, first of all, if you go look at the policies against Russia, Trump had like the most.
Yes.
Number one, fun fact, everybody, go look that up.
Yeah.
Literally, Trump had the most policies against Russia
There was no
than any
hard-
other president.
There was no harder president.
knowledge.
There was no harder president on Russia than Donald Trump.
That's number one. Number two, the reason why Putin didn't pull any shit is because he knew there was a guy on the other side who would act.
Yes.
That's the thing. Honestly,
Yes.
that's how he should. I was thinking about that's how I would answer, right? And that's why also with Bush, you know, it's interesting with the Republican presidents, people don't tend to pull as much shit.
No.
I feel like than with Democrat presidents.
Because Democrats live in this
I don't know-
fantasy land.
I don't know why that is. but-
Democrats live in this fantasy land that everyone can be negotiated with, and everyone can have a nice marshmallow and hot cocoa, and they'll want to be part of the they'll want to be part of the community of nations. I noticed this particularly in a documentary on HBO. I think it was called The Last Year. It was about the final year of the Obama administration when they were trying to do the Iran deal and everything else. And it was so revealing, not just about the mindset of the Democratic Party elite, but really about the lengths they went through to basically deny this man, because they covered the end where Trump won the election in 2016. And there was literally Obama staffers, right? Something happened at the point where Putin assassinated someone or Putin invaded this country, and they were standing around, these Obama staffers, and they were just like, we don't know why he's doing this. Why would he not want to be part of the community of nations? And I'm sitting there thinking, because he doesn't give a shit.
He does not
He
give a
does not care
Yeah, he doesn't
about your community of nations.
Aren't they already veto on the UN Council anyway? Russia?
Yes, yeah,
So
they
what the
are.
hell does he care? He doesn't give a shit.
Which is why the
It's
UN
a waste of his time.
Yes, which is why the UN is a garbage organization.
It's terrible.
This whole concept that we can be this, which is
Let's
what
all hold hands
Yes,
and sing
yes.
Kumbaya.
and that
We're all
somehow
one people. Do.
Yes.
No, it's not.
we can.
Whee! All right, don't touch me. Just kidding. I just fucking
But
around.
but this whole concept that we can forget about all of this history and differences of culture and differences in religion and differences in language and all be part of this one world community aka government, that a lot of these like Western progressives have been pushing for the past 100 years is a pile of dog shit and is completely out of the world of reality. And people who want regional commands of their own parts of the world, like Vladimir Putin. All Putin has ever wanted, in Putin's grand vision, in his grand mind, what he was going to be was Tsar Vladimir the Great, who reestablished the Soviet Union under the Russian Federation and dominance of all the Slavic
How's that
peoples.
working out for him? Not too
Not
well.
great.
He did get Crimea back.
But not great, but that was his grand vision, and they never fucking understood it. They never tried to understand it, because we're gonna hold hands, everybody, hold hands. Sing
around the world.
It was never gonna work.
Yeah.
It was never gonna work.
Well, the funny thing is, people who feel like they understand that end up not being the best people to actually understand the people
and guess where
who
all
are in
these-
charge.
And
But
guess where all these people go?
where, T?
Harvard or Yale,
Oh,
and they
jeez.
think they're so smart. They're just so smart, and like fuck off. You have no
What
basis
tea
in reality.
They just drink. Well, they're not drinking tea, but they are drinking the Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid margarita.
Hey.
We are so much smarter than you because we have a degree in international relations from Harvard. We are gonna make the world hold hands despite all history, war, cultures, and languages, and we're just so much better than you, little people.
That's what they think. That's what they think.
Yes, that is how they
You
think.
are the Smurfs.
That is how they think. They think we're the plebs,
Yeah.
and we're honored to be in the world that they are creating for us.
Yeah.
Fucking tosspots.
Oh,
Sorry,
I love it. I love it.
there's
Yeah.
nothing that
Hey,
there's
T,
nothing that
tell us
gets
how you really feel.
there's nothing that gets my fucking craw up than elitist fucking pricks.
I think we just experienced T's version of Peter Griffin's. You know what really grinds my gears? These goddamn socialists.
Socialists, elitists, all of them.
Lord have mercy.
Oh.
Well, here's the other
Anyways,
thing. Okay,
yeah, sorry.
I mean, he gave a great answer there. That's what you want to hear from a president. I don't expect him to actually end it in 24 hours, but that's just what you want to hear from the president of the United States.
Yes, absolutely.
Not,
Something that's grounded in reality. See what
is it time for ice cream? I like chocolate chips. It's just not the same. But here's the biggest thing I wanted to grab from that was I was talking about the blatancy of the message and like how overtly they're. First of all, she's interrupting him like every 5 seconds. The other thing is the question. Can you say right now if you want Russia or Ukraine to win the war?
Yes.
Can you say that? It's like how bad are you at your job? That you're like that is literally you can hear people groaning.
Yeah.
But it's like you're not even doing it in a good way.
Yeah.
It's
you're
like
clearly
so
just wanting
obvious.
a talking point.
Yeah, you just
And-
want to catch him in a.
and-
You want to catch him in saying something. And it's like, come on, man. At least do it in a clever way.
Yes.
If you're gonna do it. I mean, some of the stuff you see out today, they just don't care. They just don't care. It's like they don't care.
No.
They're literally in a room of people. Like she's literally in a room of people that pretty much all know what she's trying to do and
Yes.
don't like her.
Yeah.
And she's still doing it.
And these people have seen CNN do this for 8 years.
More
and
than
somehow,
8 years.
And somehow the people at CNN still think that these people are so stupid they're not going to notice. But CNN,
ridiculous.
CNN, people who vote Republican are not as dumb as you think they are. They know what you're doing. They see what you're doing. So stop fucking doing it.
Well, they're going to keep doing it, but they're going to keep doing it because hey, I'm the Kool-Aid man. They all drink the same Kool-Aid.
But see, the thing is, right? What I saw from that answer, and that really impressed me, was just how grounded in reality the statement was. I don't want to pick winners or losers. I just want people to stop dying. If you start saying, I'm picking this guy as the winner, he was right. What other alternative is Putin going to
Also-
have? That if you literally say this guy's the winner, so that means you're going to be fucking tried for war crimes. What is the point in him?
The other thing is
coming to the
Ukrainians and
table?
Russians, as much as there's a war going on, they'll hate each other. I'm pretty, Ukrainians and Russians, the people will probably be able to get back. They'll probably be able to be buddy
They're
because
Slavic cousins.
they're basically they're almost. I don't want to get in trouble for saying this, but they're almost the same. They're not the same.
No,
but
they're not. But
they're
similar.
so closely aligned. It's definitely it's the Poles, the Ukrainians, the
What about
Russians. It's all Slavic over there.
The first Russian Tsar was crowned in Kiev. The Kievan Rus.
Yeah, exactly.
In Kiev.
It's all the same
Yes.
type of people. The only
same
difference is now.
ethnicity.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. And I happen to be. I'm Polish, so half Polish. So I understand it. So it's not like it just needs to end. It needs to
Yes.
end, and it's not ending right now. The other thing is how she's phrasing the questions about. Do you want? Oh, so you're not going to support Ukraine, or you can't say you want to support? Because they still want the war to happen for reasons.
Yeah.
They want the war to continue to happen for reasons. They don't want to tell you what the reasons are, but they want you to support Ukraine and the continued war effort, where we're continually giving money when there are other things that we could be using that money for.
But also
One thing Trump didn't do was get us into any wars or fund massive military situations. He was getting us out of Afghanistan in a good way. It was protected
a responsible
out,
way.
A responsible way.
Good,
It would have gone
responsible way.
not just like, oh, we're getting out of Dodge.
Yes. And then we
Leave all
abandoned
the shit.
And then we abandoned $7 billion worth of the best military equipment in the world to fucking child rapists from a cave in Afghanistan.
according to the director of defense, I believe, when we give them the equipment, it's theirs. It's theirs. Then, you see.
Oh,
So-
that's very clever, isn't it?
it is very
I
clever.
bet he went to Harvard.
Oh yeah. They all sat in a room in a big
What
old
talking point do we get to?
big old circle
What
jerk.
talking point do we go through today?
I think I have a really good idea. Oh, that's very good, Johnson.
But
Very nice. Yes, that's a
actual-
good idea. Let's say that.
Before we leave this clip, though, there is one thing that he said right at the beginning when he, I think you said, what does that mean? We are spending so much money in Ukraine that we are starting.
Oh, about the ammunition.
That's what I meant. The ammunition.
That I would fact check.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the U.S. military
But
is.
no,
okay.
I have heard rumors that the American military is getting to the point where they are starting to get worried about being able to arm places like Taiwan, and because we are spending so much ammunition in Ukraine.
FYI,
right now.
that's also China's plan.
Yes.
China wants Russia to continue its war
and
to deplete
Mhm,
the resources
mhm.
of the United States, which is
States,
funding
so
Ukraine.
they can
And
take,
that is also
Mhm,
part of Trump's
mhm,
point. It's like,
mhm,
no, hey,
mhm.
European Union, send them your own shit. It's not
Yes,
just the United States
yes.
here, okay?
because we've got other responsibilities.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry,
It's
I
just
know I know a lot
ridiculous.
of you hate Trump's personality, but on foreign policy,
On that policy point, he's correct.
On foreign
And
policy,
it doesn't have anything to do, by the way, of us losing any allies. You guess what? They still are going to be our allies.
yes,
Okay?
yes,
They're not going to just all of a sudden abandon because they go, hey, pay a little bit more money.
But guess what?
It's
They're going to
ridiculous.
start taking a bit more responsibility, which they were doing under him.
They wish they had
Foreign-
before they did the Russian
Yes.
pipeline. I guarantee that. Remember when everybody
Absolutely.
laughed at him
Mhm.
and he said, "Oh no, you shouldn't do
The
it."
Germans?
And the Germans especially,
Yeah.
they had to go back to coal energy
Yes, yeah.
because they didn't have enough
The-
power to fuel their homes at night.
The arrogance of the Germans in
I
that
mean,
moment was
come on.
astonishing.
And then they went, "Oh, we've made a very big mistake."
Yeah, no shit, no shit.
Well, we seem to find ourselves in a very big predicament.
Nein Scheiße.
We have nowhere to warm our homes, and the oil from Russia is coming, but now it's not because we are not able to get it.
I know. When Biden
It's a conflict of interest, yeah.
when Biden approved that pipeline but shut down the Keystone pipeline
Yeah.
here. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I know you hated Trump's personality, but his policies.
There are plenty of reasons to not like Donald Trump. I don't like
on
Donald
a personal
Trump
level.
on many
But his
levels.
policies.
On many
his
levels, I
policies were
don't
so
like.
good.
On many levels, I didn't like him.
So good.
Okay, but the country from a policy and economic perspective before COVID was doing pretty
Great.
well.
Yes.
It was doing pretty much better than what we're dealing with now.